Bean Soup Times is on a mission to create dope content that entertains, educates, and empowers the Black community. We keep our ear to the ground, we ask, we report to you. We help Black people to share their message. We promote real dialogue. We provide a platform to help give voice to the voiceless. We educate you on how to shop smart. Our passion is to inform you about Black events, businesses, organizations, and entertainers. We are Black owned. We are Black Chicago. We are the award-winning Bean Soup Times.
Y'all started off with that blessing, man. Appreciate it.
Sean Michelle's homemade ice cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.
Greetings, peace. Assalamu alaikum. My brothers, my sisters, this is your brother, your friend, Toure Muhammad. This is the Toure Muhammad Show. And man, we're pleased and thankful to be on the top side of the earth today, broadcasting live from the great city of Chicago and on the south side. And we got a good guest come on today. We're waiting for him to tune in and plug in so that we can bring him on. But in the meantime, before we get started with our guest, I have something I want to mention. It comes out of one of the recent issues of the Final Call newspaper, Looking Beyond Politics for Black Survival. There's an introductory quote to the article that was written by Starla, Charlene, and Tariqa Shakir Muhammad. And it's a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It says, I want the American people, and particularly Black people, to see that the influence is not gained by sitting in, waiting in, prying in, or praying in. It's buying in with the power of your dollar and your unity. This will increase your influence, not only in America, but throughout the world. And that's what this program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's why this program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is so important. And that's why so many may fight against it, because it brushes the leashes off one by one. And the vultures and bloodsuckers cannot stay around an active body of living people. So that's a quote from our dear minister. They're talking about, there's so many people putting so much hope and value in the Electoral College and voting. And I'm not going to take nothing away. If that's what you believe in and you believe it's what needs to be done, man, go do your thing. But don't think that you don't have to have other things that accompany it to make sure that it actually works in your favor. Having one piece of ammunition and knowing how to use the gun from that ammunition is not enough. You need a barrage. You need a variety of tactics and tools in order to reach your strategy. And if we're not working together to build economic development, if we're not working to get some of this earth that we can call our own, then you're just doing one thing that is part of a whole arsenal of things to do. So I just want to lay that on y'all real quick, because we get so upset with each other about who you're voting for, who you're not voting for. And we act as if once we go and cast our vote, that we've done all that we should be doing. We've done our civic duty, and we've done all we should be doing for Black people and for our community. And that's not it. There's so many tools and things we need to be doing. So, but anyway, man, we got a great guest coming on today. And well, man, we're pleased to talk to him. We're going to be meeting him for the first time, but we've watched some of his videos. We've checked out his website. We are connected on social media. So we want to bring to you a aspect of business that we think is so critical and important for you to be in business. And it is you engaging in and listening to and watching just what we're going to be doing right now, video. So without any further ado, let me bring on Eugene Bush. How you doing, brother?
Hello, brother Toure. Thank you so much for having me on. This
Man,
is
absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you don't get nobody demanding trying to vote for you in the polling booth now because with your last name Bush.
Listen, I've had that since the first Bush. Okay?
I know.
I don't push anybody to vote any other way but what your heart tell you to do.
Man, so how you doing, brother?
Man, doing well. We're keeping busy down here in Atlanta. You know, we've got I literally just left a shoot downstairs, so I'm running a few minutes behind. But
that's the game right there. I love it.
Yeah, man. It's like I'm a working producer. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here actually doing the work every day of how I like to say changing lives through vision. You know?
Yes, sir.
I
like that. Changing lives through vision.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit. You know, I come from my basis is journalism and, you know, working for a Black publication, print journalist. I always had to have the camera with them. So I would have my camera and I learned, you know, a few things along the way. But I want you to talk first about your business. And just like you said, talk about the importance and the value of telling your story visually.
Absolutely. So my business, again, I'm Eugene Bush. I own a company called E-Tray Productions. It's Eugene Bush III. E-Tray is the 3, you know, on the 3rd. My business, E-Tray Productions. We started off in Chicago over 10 years ago doing video production for kind of as myself, right? I wanted to just put out my own content because I really wanted to be an actor and nobody was hiring me, right? So I just kind of started putting myself out there and then it grew. My first music video made to the BET and top gospel charts. For a gospel group called Brown Sisters of Chicago. And then from then, people just started requesting me to do more video content. So I've done it for years. I've shot in every major venue in Chicago. And then at its height, I got one of my clients were Heineken and Hennessy. So Hennessy would fly me all over the country to do video for them. And then another client caught wind, Jay Morrison, he's a real estate mogul down here in Atlanta, caught wind of the video stuff that I was doing. And we decided to expand the company and come down here, not just for him, but it's Black Mecca, right? There's so many Black entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things down here in Atlanta. And it's also the entertainment hub, right? And so I wanted to get in that entertainment zone. And really, I started this industry not to really do video as a service, but really to do video as a tool to push out visions of hope. We've got stories ourselves that we want to tell. And so we're down here making movies, still servicing clients here in Atlanta and in Chicago. So that's E-Tray.
I love that, man. And you're right, man. Chicago has a lot of entrepreneurs, but I went to Morehouse College. I spent some time in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's a attitude and a spirit of, it's like everybody's coming there to work together.
Right.
And so you see so much collaboration and cooperation there that is absolutely amazing. And you're accepted from wherever you are because one out of probably 5 out of 10 people you meet are not from Atlanta.
Probably more.
Actually,
They're there to meet somebody who's actually from Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then of course you got the HBCU, so you have so many college-bound, intelligent folks coming to Atlanta to learn it, and they just end up staying there. So, man, it's a good place to be. So, I mean, you look like you hitting everything from video production to movies. What are some of the stories that you want to tell? You may not want to, you know, give the details, but what are some of the themes of the stories that you want to tell?
So I've just been on this whole mission lately because I've recognized, you know, if you understand the tool and understand what you have at your disposal, you know, you can tell any story, right? And so literally in the past year, I've just been on a mission to tell other people about the tool, right? There's so much power in video. Forget the story that you want to tell, what movie you want to put out there and everything else. Just think about video and movies in and of itself. There are more people nowadays that follow a movie before they'll follow a Bible or a Quran or a book, right? I mean, we got the most powerful books out there, but you also have people who don't pick up books and are trekkies, right? Like their whole life is developed, you know, revolves around a movie, right? A set of images. And when you think, even get down to social media, there's no more powerful media than video on social media. It gets the most engagement. It gets the most comments. It gets the most shares, right? Video more than an amazing photo, a graphic, a cartoon, anything else. If you can do a video, make it, make the image move, it involves every sense. You can engage people's mind, engage their sight, engage their hearing, engage their smell, engage their taste. You can get their feelings and emotions riled up. You can make them cry. You can make them laugh. You can make them scared. You can do so much with this media called video that people don't recognize that. So that's been my mission is, I'm still doing my thing. So we have a bunch of stories we're telling. We just told a thriller. We made a thriller that my wife wrote. It's called Mediator. So we'll be releasing that soon. We literally just got all set for that. We're in post now. We've got another movie that my wife wrote that will be going into production for that, hopefully about November-ish. We have 2 stories ourselves called Mixed Emotions. That's out online now. I'm involved in other people's stories, right? So people have just seen me on Mercedes-Benz. I was the Mercedes-Benz guy in this national commercial that just aired all over the place. So I'm involved in a lot of stories, but what I try to tell people is they have to recognize that everyone else is using media. Most of the celebrities, most of the political candidates that any major argument, major thing that in your life either came from a personal experience, something that you've met in person, or through a video, right? Like that's the power in it, right? Wow. And so, like, if you recognize that, then that's something that you can use,
right,
to your benefit.
Man, that's so true. So the industry has changed a lot over the years in terms of video production. You have people now who come out the woodworks and think they're expert because they got access to less expensive equipment.
Yeah.
And I know that you seem to be managing that very well because you got the expertise, but then you're teaching amateurs,
right,
how to even use their cell phone to just because we can take pictures with the cell phone don't mean that you shouldn't follow certain basic rules and principles, right?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about how you've been teaching folks how to use the tools at their disposal to, whether they aspiring actor, whether they are a small business and they don't have the resources to, hire a film company, but they still can produce good quality video.
Listen, after I bought my iPhone 11, right, I said, I'm not buying another professional camera again.
Really?
I'm not a professional photo camera. Now,
I got you. Right.
It's a little different because I can still tell the difference, right?
Right.
And but photo camera, that's it. I'm done. The iPhone's done. So for the professional, it makes it a little harder, right? Because you want to justify your cost. So for the true film or video or photo professional, the coming of all this new technology has made separation a little more difficult, right? But it's such a good thing for the amateur or the person who's just an artist and can't afford that, right? People don't recognize the cameras that are on these phones are better than the cameras they had in the 60s and the 70s.
That's a fact.
They're better. And they still made movies that are impacting us today back then.
Right. That's right.
Right.
Good point.
So
Good point.
the person that continues to try to get the latest and greatest, you got to really analyze, like, what really am I trying to do? If you're trying to be the professional, yes, separation is a value add, and that's what people will pay for. But at the end of the day, if you have a mission, you have a purpose. If you know what that is, then you need to touch people. You need to reach people. You need to get that to people. And you can get that to people with this device that you use in your hand. Instead of using it to scroll all day, which is what a lot of people do. They just consume. They use their devices to consume. And so they consume, and just, scroll and everything else. But literally, if you take your device and say, okay, I'm not going to consume, I want to produce. The producers are the ones that make money, right? You'll find some broke artists. You'll find some broke, singers. You'll find some broke actors. It's very rare that you find a broke producer. Very rare.
Good point.
Right?
And because I ain't producing.
If I can produce for Lauryn Hill,
right?
And if Lauryn decides I don't want to go on tour, okay, I can go over to Lettucey, or I can produce for Tyrese. If Tyrese says I want to take a hiatus, I can produce for someone else.
Right.
Because I can produce, right? And so just as if any artist, the way you take control of your own narrative, take control of your own legacy, is you start producing where you are. Stop waiting on more money and waiting on more opportunity and waiting on someone else to give you a handout. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the problem, is we keep putting our own power in the hands of someone else, hoping that they'll hire us.
That's right.
That they'll, put us on, hoping that they'll give us a platform. I've built my platform. I'm a firm believer that if someone doesn't give you a table, then build your own.
That's right. That's right.
If someone doesn't give you a room to speak in front of, build your own room. If someone's not interviewing you, then become the interviewer. Like, what's stopping you from becoming the producer? If you have a phone, you can do it. The only difference between that person and me, or that person and you, is the information. Is we got different information and we're using it differently. Right?
Well, I love it. Yeah, you hitting some good facts here. And you remind me, because I've always had a camera with me over the years, I get called in for different projects, a lot of still photography stuff.
Yep.
And my last going out to do some shooting for somebody at a restaurant, I had my camera, I had an umbrella light, I had, a couple of tripods.
Yep.
And I got a Canon, camera. And I took some pictures with the Canon, flash, everything. Everything popping.
Yeah.
With my iPhone, I got the 10X. I said, ooh, they look better.
They look the same, if not better.
So, but like you said, it was like I had to come to justify with all of the equipment. And we turned around. I said, you know what? I'm going to take the rest of them with my phone because they look better.
I did a shoot for Nickelodeon, right? And actually it was through D Wade and his foundation, right? Nickelodeon was out there and they hired me to come out. We came out with a drone with C100. I had 4 cameras out there, aerial shots, right? I mean, we were doing a nice recap video of all these kids that were out there.
Right.
But of course, some of the things I wanted to get, I couldn't get with my equipment, right? So they had a slide. I wanted to go down the slide and go into the slide. I wanted to get my C100 or they had a sliming station where slime literally came down, on the kids, right? I can shoot that from out here, but I wanted to get in the slime, right?
Right.
At that point, I had a Samsung phone, but regardless. So I took my phone in those shots. And so I'm sliding down, the slide with the phone.
Right.
They loved every single one of my phone shots.
Yep. I could have. Those had to be the best ones.
They were like, that's the best ones. I was like, okay. You know what I mean? So it's really about the eye and about the story. It's less about the equipment. Like, you really got to recognize who your audience is.
That's right.
If there are people who are trying to be moved, like, my idea of good movies is that it moves you, period.
Right.
It moves you to tears. It moves you to laughter. It moves you emotionally. It does something. Right? That's a good movie. That's a good, effective video to me, right? And so does it matter that I'm on the latest 6K Blackmagic Ursa? Or does it matter that I'm on the red Epic Dragon? Or if I got it on here, if I'm getting the same images that move you? Now, it depends on the audience. So if I'm trying to shoot something for Netflix or, for theater, then there's standards that you have to meet, right? So I can't shoot on my phone for something that's going to get to theaters, right?
Right.
Or a Netflix, right? But if it's something that you know you can get to market where people are making a whole lot of money, even Amazon Prime. Something you go on Amazon Prime, something that you can put on Facebook, something that you can monetize yourself somehow. The audience is really forgiving about the quality of the image as long as the story is there and audio. Audio is actually more important than video.
The audio, right? The audio,
right.
So you remind me of something that another guest we've had on, a good friend of ours, Mark Harris, filmmaker.
Yeah, very familiar with Mark.
Right. So he talks a lot about how, especially right now, all the sources you mentioned and a bunch of other ones are looking for content. They're looking for stories. They're looking for, and of course, social media with YouTube and Facebook, you got people looking for content creators right, to help them tell stories. So if you got those two key components, you have a course that can help them with the other part, which is actually taking the picture. If they know how to tell a story, right, and have a good story to tell, you can help them with the visual aspects, right?
Yep, exactly. So that's exactly what I did. Is I saw a need and I decided to fill it. Really, honestly, I got tired of people just calling me saying, "Eugene, help me." I need to pick your brain. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just put my brain in some curriculum, right? And so I designed a course that is exactly for that. It's for anyone who has an idea. They've maybe been sitting on an idea. Somebody may have told them idea, whatever, right? They sit on an idea and they just don't know how. What's next, right? Some people know how to shoot it, so they'll take it on their phone, they'll shoot the video, but then it's, how do I edit it? How do I cut it together, right? Or some people will attempt to shoot, but it comes out dark, or it doesn't look cinematic. Or one of the things that really messed me up when I first started was the bokeh. Right, it's one of the things I talk about, which is the blur in the background. So when you see a video, all of a sudden, like the subject's perfectly in focus and everything behind is blown out. It's it's blurred. And so when I started, it took me at least 2 years. I was like, how are they doing that? Like, I didn't even know what are they using? Like, I knew it was some high-end, $300,000 camera that they had on film sets, but still, how do they achieve that? And I saw even people who weren't on high film sets still getting that blur background, which is what we look at and we love, or we identify that as a professional photo or professional video. Right. You see the blur. Little things like that, man. It's like, that's the stuff I'm like, I had to just put that into a curriculum, put it into a course. So no longer can anyone have any excuse as to why you can't tell your story. It's a 30-day course. It only costs less than $500. You get classes and you get on a phone with me an hour per week for 30 days, right? To make sure that your vision gets told. Now, I priced it that way on purpose because I believe that if you can do a video yourself once, if I can coach you through it,
right,
you can replicate that and do it again, right? And so it's really designed for those people who need a lot of video. If you have a product, you're doing t-shirts or anything else. If you're an artist, you can do self-tapes and all that kind of stuff. If you're a musician, you need to get your music out there and all that kind of stuff. And you just don't have deep pockets to pay for someone like myself or another video, or like Toure, like photographer, professional videographer. If you don't have the resources to do that, that's why this is here, right? Is to arm you with all the information that you need to not just do it yourself, but if you wanted to maybe check up on if your videographer is doing things right, or your photographer is doing things right, it gives you the information that you need to really just be more equipped to take control of your own legacy.
How can people get more information about the course and get on it?
Absolutely. So I actually have a free gift for your audience. Okay. So
I like that, man. I like that kind of stuff. I mean, my listeners.
Yep. Here's what I decided to do is, as we talked about, you won't find broke producers, right? If you all decide that that this is for you, like, I need to start producing my own career, producing my own results, and stop waiting on someone else. I've put together what's called a checklist. It's all the things that you need when you're producing a project, from your budget, like a film budget and a video budget. I mean, comprehensive. All the roles that you see on the credits at the end of the movie, list them out in a budget and what they should be paid. Okay.
Whoa, come on.
So difficult to find, right? Like, it took years to find this, but we have a comprehensive budget. A lot of people get in trouble because they'll do a video but don't have talent release agreements. So all of a sudden an actor or background or someone else gets upset with you, or everything is good, but all of a sudden you get your video on BET or a network or somewhere, and it plays your video. Well, now they think, oh, you just made millions. Now you may have paid to put it on the network, right? But the perception is you just made a whole lot of money, so you need to pay me, right? Otherwise, I don't give you permission, right? So all that stuff needs to be handled in the beginning when you produce the project. You need to have release agreements for the location, for the actor. Your budget needs to be together, right? All those things. I have a sample treatment. I have a sample script, right? So people ask, well, tell me about your video. Well, how do you communicate what that is? You have to give them a treatment, right? People don't know what a treatment is. So I give them a sample treatment, everything else. So it's this really extensive producer checklist, all the things you need to produce a project for free. The website is checklist.eTreProductions.com. Checklist.eTreProductions, E-Tre is E-T-R-E, productions with an S.com. Checklist.eTreProductions.com. That's where they can download the free checklist. And then if that interests them, or now they want to learn a little more, no www, just checklist.eTreProductions.com. So if they want to know a little more about, okay, man, this checklist is great. Now, Eugene, how do I produce this day out of day report? Or how do I produce this strip board? Or how do, now I want to get more detail. How do I physically shoot the content? How do I edit it? How do I get it online to go viral? Like, how do I position this content in order to get the most amount of hits, the most results, right? That's where you would then have me as your coach, right? And so you'll get an email back once you download that checklist. You'll get the checklist, but you also get an email back where I invite you to a phone conversation, where just a free consultation, where I get to know about you, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, how long you've been trying to accomplish this, and what's really preventing you from, perfect, thank you. What's preventing you from achieving success in your videos, right? So it's just a get to know you phone call, and from then we see if the what's called the producer's course, that's what the course is called. We see if the producer's course is something that's right for you, and if not, you just got some great advice and got a checklist, and you're free to produce your own content. But at the end of the day, that's really what I want to push. I want to just empower people to take control of their own destiny and their own lives. I've seen personally the power of video, how it's changed my life, and how I'm feeding my family off of it, right? Like, I used to work in corporate America for 15 years. And now I make as much as I made in corporate America as an entrepreneur, right? Like, video is what enabled me to do that.
Right. So, man, that's valuable information that you're offering, that you're giving. I encourage everybody to go and get that checklist. And, one thing we talk about in my world is something that I think you saying the same thing, especially for business owners. Every business owner needs their own marketing, video production department, right? And no matter how small that is, no matter if it's only your cell phone, right? But you need to be thinking about those things as you want it to grow, so that you can build in the proper infrastructure for it to grow, and always be thinking about it, right? If it's, no, I ain't just got a cell phone in my pocket. No, this is part of my marketing department.
That's right. That's your marketing tool.
And you need to be thinking about every day how you're producing content that you can put out that is promoting your business. And like you're saying, absolutely, the world is proving that video, I mean, it's in person, live is probably it's the best thing.
Yeah.
And video is second to best.
Next best.
It's the next best.
Yep.
Right? It's the closest thing to being there.
Yep.
Right? So, every business has to do it, and you must do it. And that's
the key, Toure. It's every business is doing it. There's not one successful business that doesn't market.
Not one. That's right. That's right.
So this is marketing 101. This is business. Right. The problem is most of these artists don't see themselves as a business. They see themselves as a person.
Right. That's right.
And as long as you keep seeing yourself as a person, you're going to get personal results.
That's right. That's right.
Right. When you establish yourself as a brand, as a business, then you start treating your person different. Right. Kevin Hart, the person, is different than Kevin Hart's enterprise, the talent.
That's right. That's
Beyonce,
right.
the person, is different than Beyonce, the enterprise, the person, the brand. Right. And they recognize They all recognize that, but we don't.
That's a fact. Man, brother, man, appreciate the information that you've given us today.
Absolutely.
Again, telling people to go to checklist.etradeproductions.com, and your services you providing all over the country, right? But especially Chicago, Atlanta is where you got some base in. So, man, we want to continue to see you grow. We appreciate what you shared with our audience today.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna be definitely following a lot closer and picking up tips and and sharing stuff that you put out there and looking for whatever comes on Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever else next.
That's right, man. Appreciate it, and good job doing this.
Hey, tell Tyler Perry Chi-Town is in the building.
Right. Oh, he going out.
Yep. Anything else you want to add before we close out?
Man, like I said, I just want to thank you for taking control of your own narrative and putting the show together. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing exactly what we need to keep doing. And folks need to follow Toure now before he blow up. Like, at the time when he blows up and things are popping, that's not the time to hit him up and say, man, remember when and remember what? No, this is the time now, right? Recognize the greatness you have in front of you, and someone who's putting together their own narrative, putting together their own stories just like this is the sign of greatness, right? So, brother, you keep going, man. Thank you so much for having me on, and I enjoyed it.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I salute you, man. Look forward to staying in contact.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, brother.
All right, peace. All right, so that was it right there, brothers and sisters. Another great show, another great guest. I'm encouraging y'all, tell people about the show, share it with others, like it. If you got somebody that needs to learn this information because they have a business, if you know somebody who wants to get into filmmaking or video production, he gave some gems, and he's a contact. He's a person that you should know about and connect with. So go get that checklist.etradeproductions.com and let's continue to grow and blossom, man. This is our time. This is our opportunity to really promote and tell our own story. You heard me say it. If you're saying y'all saw it, especially they did on me on ABC a couple of years ago. I said it on there that until lions write history, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. It's time for the lions to write history in advance and then walk into it. It's time for us to tell our own story. So with that being said, this is another show in the books. We appreciate you. We love you. Shout out to our sponsors. Thank you. Dana Nicole, good stuff. Shout out to our sponsors. John Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream, Dan's Soul Food and Cafe, and Brown Sugar Bakery. You can see them, of course, on our pages. Follow them on their social media pages at Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream, at Dan's Soul Food and Cafe, and at Brown Sugar Bakery. And until then, we'll see you all. We might be back on tomorrow. We'll let you know, of course, in enough time. Until then, we'll talk to you. And never forget that as long as I have a bowl of bean soup, you've got half. Peace.